Okay, everybody. So, at long last, I've got a little bit of time. I just finished doing my Blueberry Cove bead box review, as well as the dollar bead box review. And while that is uploading, I'm going to be taking the opportunity to show you how to make some stiffened felt. And if you remember, that was on my Métis beaded flower, as well as one of the beaded bags I did. And I've had a request, plus I've also promised that I was going to show you how to make stiffened felt. So this shouldn't take too long, but let me get all of the materials that we need. I'm going to move my, my piece of hide here. And let me get set up so I can show you what that is going to look like and all the things that we need. So you have a little bit of a different view now. Now you're actually seeing me from how I view from my perspective. So the first thing I'm going to do is let's just talk about things that we'll need. So wax paper. We'll need some paper towel, for sure. We need a bowl to mix things in. And I know we're kind of a little out of frame here. Let me just see if I can. All right. You see my messy desk now. We will also need just some white glue, washable white glue. We need some hot water or warm water, some sort of a measuring device, and all I did was I took a plastic cup. I sort of eyeballed this a little bit, and I'm probably going to go and put a third mark on just in between the two of those, because I'll explain that in a moment. But anyway, so you need some sort of a measuring device, and of course your piece of felt. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to lay down a strip of wax paper. So let me get myself organized and I'll be right back. All right, so what I've done is I've laid down some wax paper here, and I've got my bowl out and ready. I have my felt here, and this is pretty cheap dollar store kind of stuff here. So it is it's very cheap. I think I paid like 25 cents for this. And yeah, of course it's got to have dog hair all over it, because my dog's got to get his nose into everything that is mine. So I'm going to just leave that to the side for the minute, or for the moment. And you could certainly wear some gloves and whatnot to do this. I don't, but it might be a good idea. So I've got on here some measurings. Let me just get around to the other side of the camera. I'm actually having to stand up to do this, and I'm going to kind of block that light a little bit. So I've just put 3 random measurements on there, and all I've done is I just eyeballed roughly how much glue I'm going to want to use. I think what I'll do is I'll try and use the first measurement. Now, I'm not going to give you exact measurements. I just don't think that it's necessary. I'm just eyeballing this. So, I don't know, maybe, why don't we say 1/3 of a cup, right? This isn't an actual measuring cup, obviously, but probably about 1/3 of a cup of equal parts white glue and water. So, what I'll do is I'm going to fill up the white glue to that mark there. Get that hair out of the way. So that's the first thing that I'm going to do. It's just, it is so crazy thick. Hopefully this one will actually work. As I said, I've never used this particular brand of white glue before, so it may not work quite as well as I'd like. But the school glue that you get in those, I don't know, typical white glue bottles are the ones that I like to use. Okay, so I'm going to call that about right. So let me bring that up. So I've come up to this line here. So I want to dump that into my bowl. And because it's so thick, I'm probably going to have to get my fingers in there, which is one of the reasons why I want to have some paper towel around. But I'm going to just scoop that out because I don't really feel like waiting. Yeah, I honestly am not sure if this one is going to work, but I do know that regular white glue works like a charm. And this one might too, even though it's really thick and goopy. Maybe it'll work even better, who knows? We'll see, I guess. Alright, let's pull as much of that white glue out of there as I can. I think next time I'll avoid dollar store glue. But this may be okay. And of course, before I stuck my fingers in there, I didn't open my jar, so give me a second to do that. Okay, so the key here is to do equal parts of the water. And I know this is probably a little bit out of frame. Let me just move stuff over a little bit so you can see a little better. I'll try to be as accurate as I can. It's a little bit hard when you're stood behind the camera. So it's pretty close. I'm not going to get really concerned about it being exact. Okay, so now all I do is I pour that water in there. And I'm going to just stir until the water and the glue are mixed nicely together. This is just really weird. I've actually never had this reaction before. Yeah, this is just a very strange mixture. Normally with that regular white school glue, which is also washable glue, and this stuff smells the same, it actually mixes in amazingly well. So I don't know if this is because the glue is old, because our dollar store is, yeah, we don't tend to use it an awful lot here. But anyway, so I use warm water because I want to make sure that I can mix everything in reasonably well. And I'm going to turn off for a moment until I get this all mixed in really nicely, and then I'll come back and show you what that looks like. All right, well, I'm still mixing it a little bit, but I did double it up, actually. Just kind of looking at it, I think that all of my felt would have really soaked that all up. So I'm going to keep mixing. What I'm trying to do is make sure that I get all the lumps out of it. That's really important. You don't want any lumpy bits in there. You want this to mix really well. And yeah, yeah, this is the first time I've experienced this one. So I think next time I will definitely get the sort of the school glue that you get. LePage glue or LePage. And I'll mix this up. I'll be right back. Okay, so I've got a fair amount here of the glue. Whoops, sorry, I'm just trying to move out a little bit more. I've got the glue more or less smoothed out. If I had a dedicated whisk to this, it would make things a whole lot better, but I don't. So what I want to do now is I will take my felt and I just want to soak it up in here. I want to just get as much of that glue soaked into my felt as possible. Now for you, I really suggest strongly, because I really have not made this quite as good as I could have in terms of getting all of the glue lumps out. But you want to really soak your cloth and make sure that you get your lumps out really well. I can always wash this out later and use different glue, but I just wanted to demonstrate this for you. And who knows, it might turn out quite okay for me. So what I want to do is now I just want to get rid of as much of that glue as I can. So I'm just going to kind of wring that out and squeeze it all out as much as I can. Don't want to have a lot of excess in there. because if you have a whole lot of excess, your felt will be more stiff than you want it to be. All right, I'm just going to put that down on the paper for a moment and wipe the excess off of my hands, because now I'm just simply squeezing excess from my hands back onto the felt here, and that's not what we really want. So I want to just try and get rid of lots and lots of that glue. Squeeze out a little bit more of it. That sounds delightful. Okay, and then I'm going to wipe a little more off my hands. And really that's all it takes, is just to just kind of keep squeezing it. Like I say, you don't want tons of excess in there. And I'm just hoping that I'm in frame. I'm having a hard time looking at this and my viewfinder at the same time. So I think that's probably about enough. I'm going to move that out of the way. And now all I'm going to do is I'm going to just lay my felt down, and I want to smooth it out as much as I can. I want it to stay flat. And it's got to lay on this wax paper, because with the wax paper it's not going to stick to it. I can at least peel the wax paper off. So I'm going to let it sit flat like this until the surface is at least dry. And then we will come back and we'll have a look at flipping it over, and then once it's completely dry, I'll be back to show you that. Okay, so while we're letting this one dry, and this is going to take many hours, I probably won't be able to film this dried, and in fact maybe what I will do is finish off this video, and then when I do my next video I will show you what this looks like when it's dried and stiffened. But I did want to also share with you that one of the other videos that we're going to be doing is I'm going to be showing people how to do thread conditioner. I have promised to do that. I don't know when I will get to that. It will be a little bit later on. The reason why is I've got my some thread conditioner here, and it's a little bit it's a little softer than I would like it to be. So I'm going to play around with the recipe and make it a little bit stiffer, a little bit more like thread heaven, so to speak. So it's a little bit easier to work with. So I'll play around with that recipe a little bit more. But one of the other ones that we did say that we were going to be doing is this bead board made out of hide. This isn't the regular one I work with, and in fact I don't work with this one often at all, because it's a little bit too fuzzy. I like the more the smoother hide to work with for picking up beads. But anyway, this is one of the ones that we're going to be making on video. In fact, my husband's going to do it, and we'll be doing a little bit more of a rounder version. And so we'll be showing you how to make that. But I'm getting immense numbers of subscribers each day. And I figured that maybe at the 500 mark, unless I surpass that before we actually make this, but I'm thinking at the 500 mark, we'll probably just do some sort of a random draw. I will find out how to do a random draw of one of my subscribers, and you can win one of these. I may end up doing some sort of a contest for those who want to participate, or I'll do a random draw. I'm not sure yet, but I'll let you know. So you can look forward to that, how to make one of these, and also we will be making one on video, and that one we will give away as some sort of a prize. So anyway, I think I will actually end off our video here, and as I said earlier, I'll just show you the finished product on a future video on the next one that I do. Maybe the next tutorial, I'll show you what it looks like. But anyway, you've got the process now. It doesn't get more simple than this, than to simply let that dry. Hopefully this is helpful to you. Those of you who requested this, thank you very much, and Have a very happy new year, and see you in 2018.